Hello, welcome to History B. I'm your narrator, Jason. Our topic in this video is Independence Day. Let's take a closer look at the history of this important day. Here are 50 interesting facts about Independence Day. If you want more of this kind of content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Have a good time. The 4th of July, also known as Independence Day, has been a federal holiday in the United States since 1941. However, the tradition of Independence Day celebrations dates back to the 18th century and the American Revolution. On July 2, 1776, the Continental Congress voted in favor of independence, and 2 days later, delegates from the 13 colonies adopted the Declaration of Independence, a historic document drafted by Thomas Jefferson. From 1776 to the present day, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, with festivities ranging from fireworks, parades, and concerts to more casual family gatherings and barbecues. The initial battles in the Revolutionary War broke out in April 1775. Few colonists desired complete independence from Great Britain, and those who did were considered radical. By the middle of the following year, however, many more colonists had come to favor independence, thanks to growing hostility against Britain and the spread of revolutionary sentiments. On June 7th, when the Continental Congress met at the Pennsylvania State House, later Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the Virginia delegate Richard Henry Lee introduced a motion calling for the colony's independence. Congress postponed the vote on Lee's resolution, but appointed a 5-man committee, including Thomas Jefferson of Virginia, John Adams of Massachusetts, Roger Sherman of Connecticut, Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania, and Robert R. Livingston of New York, to draft a formal statement justifying the break with Great Britain. John Adams believed that July 2nd was the correct date on which to celebrate the birth of American independence, and would reportedly turn down invitations to appear at July 4th events in protest. Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. On July 2nd, the Continental Congress voted in favor of Lee's resolution for independence in a near-unanimous vote. The New York delegation abstained, but later voted affirmatively. On July 4th, the Continental Congress formally adopted the Declaration of Independence, which had been written largely by Jefferson. Though the vote for actual independence took place on July 2nd, from then on the 4th became the day that was celebrated as the birth of American independence. In the pre-revolutionary years, colonists had held annual celebrations of the King's birthday, which traditionally included the ringing of bells, bonfires, processions, and speech-making. During the summer of 1776, some colonists celebrated the birth of independence by holding mock funerals for King George III as a way of symbolizing the end of the monarchy's hold on America and the triumph of liberty. Festivities including concerts, bonfires, parades, and the firing of cannons and muskets usually accompanied the first public readings of the Declaration of Independence, beginning immediately after its adoption. Philadelphia held the first annual commemoration of independence on July 4, 1777, while Congress was still occupied with the ongoing war. George Washington issued double rations of rum to all his soldiers to mark the anniversary of independence in 1778. In 1781, several months before the key American victory at the Battle of Yorktown, Massachusetts became the first state to make July 4th an official state holiday. After the Revolutionary War, Americans continued to commemorate Independence Day every year, in celebrations that allowed the new nation's emerging political leaders to address citizens and create a feeling of unity. By the last decade of the 18th century, the two major political parties, the Federalist Party and Democratic Republicans, that had arisen began holding separate 4th of July celebrations in many large cities. The tradition of setting off fireworks on the 4th of July began in Philadelphia on July 4, 1777, during the first organized celebration of Independence Day. Ship's cannon fired a 13-gun salute in honor of the 13 colonies. The Pennsylvania Evening Post reported, "At night, there was a grand exhibition of fireworks, which began and concluded with 13 rockets on the Commons, and the city was beautifully illuminated." That same night, the Sons of Liberty set off fireworks over Boston Common. The tradition of patriotic celebration became even more widespread after the War of 1812, in which the United States again faced Great Britain. In 1870, the U.S. Congress made July 4th a federal holiday. In 1941, the provision was expanded to grant a paid holiday to all federal employees. Over the years, the political importance of the holiday would decline, but Independence Day remained an important national holiday and a symbol of patriotism. Falling in midsummer, the 4th of July has since the late 19th century become a major focus of leisure activities and a common occasion for family get-togethers, often involving fireworks and outdoor barbecues. The most common symbol of the holiday is the American flag, and a common musical accompaniment is the Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the United States. On July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress unanimously adopted the Declaration of Independence, announcing the colony's separation from Great Britain. Philadelphians marked the first anniversary of American independence with a spontaneous celebration, which is described in a letter by John Adams to his daughter Abigail. Observing Independence Day only became commonplace after the War of 1812. Soon, events such as groundbreaking ceremonies for the Erie Canal and the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad were scheduled to coincide with July 4th festivities. In 1859, the Banneker Institute of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, urged African Americans to celebrate Independence Day while bearing witness to the inconsistencies between the ideals espoused in the Declaration of Independence and the practice of slavery. By the 1870s, the 4th of July was the most important secular holiday on the calendar. Congress passed a law making Independence Day a federal holiday on June 28, 1870. Even far-flung communities on the western frontier managed to congregate on Independence Day. In an interview, Miss Nettie Spencer remembered the 4th as the big event of the year. Everyone in the countryside got together on that day for the only time in the year. Down south, the celebration was much the same. 96-year-old Dr. Samuel B. Lathan recalled the Independence Day celebrations of his South Carolina childhood. The 4th of July was observed at Caldwell Crossroads. The military companies of infantry would assemble here from the surrounding counties, making up a brigade. A drill and inspection were had, and a dress parade followed. There was an old cannon mounted on the field. The honor of firing it was assigned to Hugh Reed, who had been in the artillery of Napoleon's army at Waterloo and afterward emigrated to South Carolina. A great barbecue and picnic dinner would be served. Candidates for military, state, and national offices would speak. Hard liquor would flow, and each section would present its bully of the woods in a contest for champion in a fist and skull fight. Butting, biting, eye-gouging, kicking, and blows below the belt were barred. It was primitive prize fighting. The Library of Congress posts a wealth of online information pertaining to the Declaration of Independence and its principal author, Thomas Jefferson. Declaring independence. Drafting the documents provides a timeline leading up to the Revolution and a fragment of an early draft of the Declaration. Also see the Thomas Jefferson Papers, 1606 to 1827, which includes Jefferson's rough draft of the Declaration of Independence. Century of Lawmaking for a New Nation, U.S. Congressional Documents and Debates, 1774 to 1875, contains congressional information concerning the Declaration of Independence in the Journals of the Continental Congress and the letters of delegates to Congress. Pioneering the Upper Midwest, books from Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, Seer in 1820 to 1910 contains wonderful Independence Day recollections. Search the collection on the phrase 4th of July to locate many descriptions of the holiday, including Celebrating the 4th, a chapter of Lewis Ryman's Between the Iron and the Pine, a biography of a pioneer family and a pioneer town. See the entry for the Declaration of Independence in the library's Primary Documents in American History web guide. The 4th of July, or American Independence Day, fireworks light up the sky over Denver, Colorado's downtown civic center. The 4th of July is a day that really counted then. Christmas wasn't much, a church tree or something, but no one twisted the lion's tail. This is the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please click the like button and subscribe to History B. If you want to be notified about new videos, you can get notifications of new videos by clicking the bell button next to the subscribe button after subscribing.